welcome, welcome, welcome to today's Hobbii Happy Hour. I am back. Melissa's saying, so on Insta you're already live, and on Facebook you still have 1 minute and 29 seconds. That's confusing. It should be almost instantaneously the same. I think there might be a second's overlap, but it should be good. If there is a severe lag between Facebook and Instagram, try to reload your Facebook stream just to make sure that you're actually watching it live. Welcome everyone! It is so nice to have you all here with us today. I am back from vacation. Thank you to the people in the chat who said they were missing me. Aw, I missed you too. I mean, that's a little bit of a lie. I had a very relaxing little break. I went up to Stockholm to go to some concerts and then spend just some time out in nature in the archipelago of Stockholm. If you're ever there, highly recommend. It's only about an hour outside the city, and it is beautiful coastal landscape, beautiful nature, and very cute little red houses. So you get the proper Swedish feeling. It was also midsummer the weekend before last, so happy midsummer to all the Swedes who are there. I hope you all celebrated. We got very lucky with the weather this year. I went up to Dalarna, so for the first time I think in a few years that there was 0 rain on midsummer. It is a known fact in Sweden that when it's midsummer the weather is terrible. That is just how it is. And usually it's nice in the morning, so you set everything up for a beautiful lunch outside. Then you go to put the maypole up and everything, and when you come back, then it's gone. So anyway, I'm back. I hope you're all doing very well. And I hope that you are not suffering from the heat. I know Europe's been hit by a pretty hefty heat wave. We're kind of starting to feel it here as well. It is quite warm, and so I put up a little poll that I want you to, or that you can respond to if you would like. I think Matt's going to put it up in just a second. Just to tell me, has summer arrived where you are? And are you like me, melting? Because I start complaining when it hits 22 degrees Celsius. It hits 23 degrees Celsius, I start complaining immediately. Or do you feel more like, oh no, it's perfect. Actually, where I am, it is exactly how I would want it to be. Are you near a beach, or are you actually somewhere where it's maybe not that summery at all yet? I saw a acquaintance of mine who was on Instagram is currently in Canada. She's at Lake Louise, and it seemed that there was still some snow. So, you know. So let me know, is summer there where you are? And yes, Matt is here. I forgot to mention, so Matt's by my side.
What's up?
Right for this week, and then Matt's gonna go on holiday and enjoy a little break as well. What heat? Haven't seen a ray of sunshine in the dense fog for the last days. For the last days, says Barbs. I'm very sorry to hear that. Well, or glad, because honestly, I don't mind a bit of fog. I don't mind a bit of grey. I am, like I said, more of a complainer the second I get 2 degrees warmer than my body wants to be. In case you're completely new, it is par for the course that we're wildly off script within 2 seconds of starting the stream, so this is a quite normal experience. But I'm still gonna give you a little insight in what we do here. So this is live shopping, where we put together a collection of beautiful yarns for you, or sometimes it's other products. This week it's strictly yarns. And I tell you a little bit about those yarns. I show you some close-ups, I'll show you some of the colors, and I'll give you some ideas on what you could make with it. For instance, the cardigan I'm wearing today is the opal cardigan. It made in a very large size. I think this is probably a 3 or 4 XL. So it does dwarf me quite a bit. It's very oversized. But this is a pattern that is made with Friends Cotton Silk, which we do have as part of our selection today. I'll show you the selection, I'll tell you a little bit about it, and you will get the chance to save some money, because all the yarns in our selection are on offer for the next 24 hours with a discount of 40% off. So 40% off our selection. The 40% off applies to the baseline price of the item. So if you're buying a certain number and the bulk discount applies, the Happy 40, which is our discount code, overrides that and gives you 40% off instead. So it always applies to the base product price, and our checkout is set up so that it always tries to give you the best possible deal. So if you're trying to use different codes and try to combine them, it's always going to pick whatever is the best deal for you, which is usually Happy 40. So just so you know, Happy 40, 40% off applies to the base price, and it applies for the next 24 hours. Di is saying, I love your haircut. Thank you very much. Yes, I got it cut for summer. I really wanted to go a little bit shorter, just to withstand the heat a little bit better. And my hairdresser actually cut it, I want to say, about 1 centimeter shorter than what I had imagined. So I walked out of there kind of thinking, oh, this is short. It's not shorter than I like, but it's shorter than I had expected. In the 2 weeks since I had my appointment, it's already grown out so much that I'm now looking at it and I'm like, nope, she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. So thank you very much. I'm also very happy with it. I'm still trying to find out different ways to style it, but this is what I went for today. This is actually just with a bit of mousse and air dried. Enough about that. Someone is saying, what are the 3 lines on the screen for? 3 lines on the screen? There shouldn't be 3 lines on the screen. I don't see any 3 lines on the screen. What are the 3 lines on the screen for? I don't know. Lisa's asking, what is the difference between Rainbow and Friends cotton? They're 2 different brands of cotton. So both of them are 8/4 size, which means they're 4-ply cotton yarns. They're fingering or sock weight. So they're your very kind of baseline, perfect, versatile cotton. And then the color palette is just different. Friends cotton has its own color palette and Rainbow cotton has its own color palette. You can combine them, you can mix and match them, no problem. They work really well together, they work well for themselves. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, they're just made by 2 different manufacturers in 2 different colorways. But other than that, Rainbow and Friends cotton are kind of your standard style of cotton, your kind of standard, there's Matt in the background. Cotton yarn. So I hope that answers your question. Mary saying, right on your chest is in a white circle. I think that might be controls of Facebook, so I think that might be the pause button or something. That is something that I think is on your device, not on the stream in general. And Kimberly's asking what yarn I would recommend for wash rags. So I think I would actually for that go for a cotton yarn like Friends cotton or Rainbow cotton. We do have 2 Friends cotton yarn in the selection today. Just because cotton yarns or cotton is a super versatile material, but it's also a very, very durable material. You can wash it at really high temperatures without fear of it kind of completely disintegrating, shrinking, or doing all sorts of other things. So that's one reason I would always recommend to go for 100% cotton. One thing that's good to remember is if you use it as a wash rag, this goes for any wash rag you use, make sure you dry it properly, because if you just keep shoving it into a little cubby, for instance, it is going to get smelly quite fast because cotton takes a little while longer to dry than other materials. But in general, I would recommend that. You could also look into bamboo cotton blends as a yarn for that. So that would be my tip. Alrighty. I think this has been a long intro already because I'm quite happy to see. Oh, Desiree is saying it's the poll button that pops up on my chest. So that's where you can answer the poll about how far into summer you already are. And Matt's actually, I think, going to close the poll soon, and we're gonna. Oh, Matt's already closed the poll, so we're gonna check out the results. And I can see that 75% of you are with me in that. Yes, it is already summer, and you are melting. I look forward to summer all a long time, and then when it's there I just complain the entire time. That's just how it goes. I do also have some some very warm yarns in the selection for you today, so I do hope that this does not make you feel any hotter. Lotte is asking if you can combine Friends cotton and Rainbow cotton, or are they very different in texture? I would say they're very similar in texture. I work with our yarns quite a lot and I handle our yarns quite a lot, and I would still say that I don't think I could tell you the difference by feel or touch or even looking at it between Rainbow cotton and Friends cotton. So I don't think I could give you a difference there. So all right, I think that's been a lot of questions from the chat. I'm gonna keep going with the stream now and try to actually show you some yarns and tell you a little bit about our selection today. In addition to 40% off our selection, which is valid for 24 hours, all you gotta do is use the code HAPPY40 to get those 40% off. It's only on our selection, so just be aware of that. It's 12 yarns. I will tell you about them now. If you type HAPPY40 into the chat, you should get a link sent to your inbox that'll have all the yarns as well as a lot of lovely patterns linked. I can see Zanna asking about the Danish shop. Yes, Happy 40 also applies for the Danish shop. So you can definitely use it there. Alrighty.
But only, of course, on these yarns.
Only on these yarns.
Yeah.
Only on, we have a few alpaca blends, we have some cotton, we have some acrylic, we have a lovely array of beautiful, beautiful yarns for you today. Some of my favorites. A lot of them are yarns that have been out of stock for quite a while, and when I saw that they were back in stock, I just put them all in. And of course, I'll show you some patterns and some ideas on what you make with them. And when you type Happy 40 in the chat, you not only get the link to the yarns, you also get a link that shows the patterns. Because as you will know, we are currently reworking our website a little bit. There have been updates, there have been changes. And one of those changes is that at the moment, the yarns don't immediately link to the patterns that you can make with them. We are aware that that is not very useful, not very helpful, and it is something that is being worked on. It's just that right now we don't have that option, which means that if you want the yarns that I'm showing you today and you want the patterns that I'm showing you today, simply follow the link. They're all linked there in one place for you. Cheryl is saying that the link still isn't coming into her messenger inbox. We do know that that is a problem with Meta. Matt has posted it in the chat and pinned it as a comment. It is also in the video description for this event. And you will also get a follow-up message at the end of the live stream where it should then be, it should then be linked there as well. In addition to all these yarns, in addition to 40% off for the next 24 hours of our amazing selection, we also have 4 giveaways today. We've got 4 beautiful giveaways. We will be giving away 4 gift cards each worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. We will be picking one winner from the chat. We will be picking a winner, or well, we will be picking one winner has already been picked from everyone who signed up to this Facebook event that we're streaming in right now. We are also going to pick one winner from everyone who gives this video a like. And we're going to pick one more winner from the chat. So it's 2 from the chat, 1 from likes, 1 from signing up to the event, 25 monies each. And I will tell you what to do to participate on each giveaway when we get to it.
We had someone email in, just to be sure here. They thought that 25 monies also counts for pounds, but we do 20 pounds.
It's $25 or equivalent in your currency. Yeah. Yes. So if you are from the Nordics, you are not getting 25 kroner. If you are from the UK, you are getting, is it 20 pounds? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 20 pounds. So 25-ish dollars. That is how much the gift card is for. All right. Well, I've been talking for 15 minutes. I haven't shown you a single yarn. So let's change that, shall we? I have 3 yarns coming up for you. A beautiful little collection of different alpaca blends. We have for you our beautiful upcycled alpaca blend, which is an alpaca wool blend. We've got our upcycled Suri alpaca, which is a 100% alpaca yarn. And we've got our upcycled alpaca silk, which is an alpaca silk blend, as the name might suggest. All of these beautiful yarns are part of today's selection. All of these yarns are 40% off with our code HAPPY40 if you apply it within the next 24 hours. Jax is saying the link for the US doesn't redirect to the UK site now. It doesn't? That's good, because it shouldn't. It should direct to the US site. So I hope it works. It should direct you to the US site. However, you can actually change the store that you're shopping from at the very bottom of the page, and it should still send you to the correct page nonetheless. So yes. Let's start talking about these yarns. So the first one I have for you here is our upcycled alpaca blend. So like I said, this is an alpaca wool blend with some acrylic. You've got 34% acrylic, 33% alpaca, and 33% wool. This is a regular sheep's wool. However, the alpaca and acrylic make this yarn super, super soft. So if you are sensitive, I would still very much recommend this yarn. It is a medium weight, which I think translates to a DK weight.
It's a 4. I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Not helpful.
Yeah.
And we do recommend that you use 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter hooks or needles. I have crocheted with this on a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and that worked out really, really well. I made half of a hood, and then I somehow forgot to keep going, so I still have this unfinished project lying around. I hope I'll get back to it before winter is here. So this is a super lovely upcycled yarn. Upcycled means that the fibers used in this are leftover fibers that were used in textile production, and they were never a finished product. So upcycling essentially is taking something that's already kind of where it's what it is supposed to be, and then just improving upon it, or turning it into something slightly different. Recycling would essentially mean breaking it down to its base components completely. I think that's kind of the biggest. DK is 3, medium is 4. But then is that light worsted? Light worsted? Worsted? Matt's now pulling up a chart for me so that I can easier convert them, because it's really hard since the new website design now gives it differently. And I know that some of you, so 4, it actually says DK for 4.
And 3.
And 3. So that's not useful at all.
So maybe
it also doesn't give Aaron at all, so I think that's not a good chart.
Not a good chart. Okay,
it's fine. It's all good, Matt. 4.5 to 5.5 millimeters. You get 100 grams on one of these, and you get 218 yards on one of these bad boys. We no longer have the yarn weights in feet, which is very good, because I know that was really a struggle for a while for everyone, but that's been overcome. We're now back to yards, finally. As you can see, it's very nicely evenly twisted, and it has a light variegation in the color. So the colors are very natural and slightly variegated. This green is one of my absolute favorites. This is color 18, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful. This is the updated label for this yarn. So you may be ordering it and still receiving some skeins that have an older label, but still the same beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's just that we updated the label at some point. So this is our upcycled alpaca blend. Very, very nice wool acrylic alpaca blend. Very soft, especially considering that there is 33% wool in it. Very, very nice to work with. Great for anything that'll keep you nice and warm. I do have some more colors here as well. I have color 10, which is this beautiful grape color. Color 8, so that was the beautiful berry color, and then, like I said, 18 was the gorgeous, gorgeous green color. This is a limited edition yarn, partially just because the raw materials for upcycling are somewhat limited, because if there's no more more materials left over that you want to upcycle, then you can't make more yarn. So just be aware of this, that some of these colors may sell out and not come back, so make sure you get enough for your project. It is a super, super lovely yarn, big favorite of mine. This was our upcycled alpaca blend, and from the same yarn line we also have our upcycled Suri alpaca, which is this gorgeous yarn. Suri alpaca is, well, one of the 2 types of alpaca there is, and they are characterized by their super, super floofy kind of curly coat, which then translates to this super, super fluffy yarn. This is the inner thread, and then you have this natural fluff just coming off it. So this is very much a fuzzy yarn. That can be a bit tricky if you're a beginner, because it's just a little bit harder to see your stitches, but it gives you this gorgeous, gorgeous, super fuzzy, super, super soft texture. I've got color 5 here, that's this beautiful blush, and then I've got color 9, which is this beautiful gray, and as you can see, quite kind of variegated as well, with a little bit of black and white kind of coming through. On one of these, you get 120 yards of yarn. It is a bulky yarn. That is largely due to the fluff. You can work this up on smaller needles if you want a tighter kind of weave or structure of your stitches. Just be aware, again, they might be a bit tougher to spot just because there is quite a bit of floof on this. And we recommend that you use needles or hooks between 6mm and 9mm. Again, depends on the texture that you're hoping to get.
It reminds me a little bit of Diablo Multi.
It is a little bit like Diablo Multi, except Diablo Multi is made of 5 strands, and this one is only 1 strand. So that's kind of the benefit. Also, this is a pure alpaca yarn, so purely made from natural fibers, and it is very, very nice and soft. I do know that there are people who are sensitive to alpaca. If that is you, this is maybe not the yarn for you, simply because in addition to being 100% alpaca, it is also very, very floofy, so there's a lot of fibers that could rub on your skin. That's just good to be aware of. If you can handle alpaca and you love a bit of fluff, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous choice. It's 40% off with our code HAPPY40, and I think Matt can show the colors because up until I think a week ago, only one of these was in stock, but now all of them are back. It is a small or limited palette. It is also a limited edition yarn. All of our upcycled yarns are, so just be aware of that. Once some of these colors sell out, they won't come back. So if you really want to make a bigger project, just make sure you get enough of this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. And finally, to complete this trio of upcycled alpaca yarns, we have the upcycled alpaca silk. So those of you who've watched for a long time will know that we have a regular alpaca silk yarn, which our friend and colleague Jaya is completely obsessed with. And then our product department actually added this as another alpaca silk version, and this is an upcycled yarn. And again, you have 75% alpaca and 25% silk, so it's all natural materials. And again, a slight variegation in the color and a little bit of that very kind of lovely natural texture and a very, very, very slight sheen to the yarn, but not as much as other silk yarns. And I think that is partially due to the upcycled nature of the fiber. So it's a little bit more processed than normal regular silk, first time use silk would be. It is a fine yarn weight. We recommend that you use between 3.5 and 4.5 millimeter hook or needle. So a really, really lovely alternative. I think you could, it is a little bit thicker than our regular alpaca silk, but I think close enough. And it is, again, super, 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 super soft. So it's a beautiful soft yarn. Unless you're allergic to alpaca, I think pretty much anyone could have this on their skin with zero problems. Shiloh is saying, I'm going to use this for my wedding dress. That sounds stunning. That sounds amazing. I can imagine that it's going to be super, super soft. I do hope that you're getting married somewhere cool. Although, I mean, alpaca and silk are both not the worst fibers to wear even in the summer. I think it depends, I guess, also on where you are, how much you sweat. But yeah, I do hope that you're maybe having a fall or winter wedding and not a full summer wedding. But yeah, it is a gorgeous material. This one, so the upcycled alpaca silk, as well as the Suri alpaca, we recommend that you hand wash. And for the upcycled alpaca blend, it's the same. So we recommend that you hand wash all of these yarns. So they are just absolutely beautiful. So these three beautiful alpaca yarns are all part of today's selection. They're all 40% off with our code HAPPY40. And as you've heard from Shiloh, you can definitely make a wedding dress out of these yarns. But we do, of course, have a few more patterns or a few more ideas on what you could make with this yarn. So for the upcycled alpaca blend, for instance, we have this gorgeous, gorgeous pattern that is the Autumn Berry Sweater, which is an intermediate level knitting pattern, and it is available in sizes extra small to 5XL. So a gorgeous, gorgeous knit sweater with this cute detail on the sleeves that'll keep you nice and cozy, nice and warm. And Shiloh says the wedding is going to be October 2026. Well, that's great to hear, because first of all, that's really gorgeous weather probably to wear an alpaca silk dress, and it also gives you a lot of time to finish your dress. So that was the Autumn Berry Sweater, and like I said, all of the patterns I'm showing today are linked on our landing page. So if you've typed HAPPY40 in the chat, or if you are just going to follow the link that Matt put in the video description, you will find the patterns linked there for you. We also have this beautiful pattern, which is written for the Suri alpaca, and it's the Fringy Wrap Shawl, which is an intermediate knitting pattern, and it looks so cozy. It is super fuzzy, super cozy, and it is a cute kind of multi-use wrap shawl, almost cardigan, I would say, that has this really cool kind of geometric pattern. So that's the Fringy Wrap Shawl, And finally, we have this beautiful pattern, which is another intermediate knit pattern, and that is the cortado cardigan. Cortado, like the coffee. A super cute cardigan, and what is really, really interesting about it is that, as you can see, it looks a little bit more variegated than this yarn does on its own, and that is because a lot of times you will use alpaca fluff yarns, or mohair yarns really, as an additional thread to add that little bit of extra fluff. And this is on its own already quite a chunky yarn. However, for this particular pattern, it's actually combined with our friend's wool. So you get the combination of two quite chunky yarns to kind of mix wooliness and fluffy texture and softness and warmth. So the Cortado sweater pattern, which is available in sizes extra small to 2XL, actually uses this in combination with another wool thread to give you that really cool melange look and to make it extra cozy. These three patterns are just some ideas on what you can make with these beautiful yarns. And like I said, Happy 40 gives you 40% off for the next 24 hours. Now we've reached the end of our alpaca yarns, and that means I have another question for you, or a little poll that I would like you to answer. And this one is a silly one. It was just a little joke that I thought would be kind of funny to put in this place. And basically what I'm wondering is, if you had to, would you rather fight one alpaca-sized mouse or 5 mouse-sized alpacas? And if you're completely confused by what is happening, that is completely okay. It was just something I kind of jokingly came up with.
What would you do?
That is a very good question. So here's a little insight into my psyche. I am deadly afraid of mice. I am absolutely terrified. I'm terrified of most rodents. Rats are the worst. Mice come straight after that, which is great because I grew up in a very old farmhouse that there were basically already mice there before the house was ever built. So I'm very used to in the night just hearing something running and knowing there's a mouse in the room. But yes, I'm terrified of mice, meaning an alpaca-sized mouse would already be an absolute nightmare. I would pee my pants, I'll be very honest. Secondly, anything that's alpaca-sized is already too big for me to fight. I am a terrible fighter. So
what do you want to fight?
But I wouldn't want to fight any alpacas, especially not if they're tiny, because they're so cute. Like imagine 5 teeny tiny alpacas,
but
they would just
win.
Be so cute. Yes, I would win, but at what cost? Because they're so cute.
Yeah.
So I actually think I would sit that one out. I would not fight either of them. I would run away screaming from the alpaca-sized mouse, and I think I would just want to kind of befriend the tiny mice-sized alpacas.
I feel like you are kind of dodging the question here.
I would fight the mouse-sized alpacas if I absolutely had to.
Yeah.
If you put me in an arena gladiator style, it's my life or theirs, yeah, I'll fight the tiny alpacas.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. But maybe I should have said 50.
Because
5 seems very manageable, actually.
Yeah.
5 mouse-sized mice actually seems fairly manageable.
I think it would be easier to manage 5 mouse-sized alpacas than 5 mice.
Probably.
Because you can kind of just...
Oh.
Very, yeah.
I had a roommate that had 20 rats. I hated it. Sounds like my nightmare. And like the thing is, in a video, I'll see rat videos, and occasionally I'll just be there, aw, that's cute. Like when they drive around on tiny robot cars or something, and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cute. And then I remember they're rats, and then I'm terrified again, because then I think, what else could they drive? Like, because they're very small, very smart. Someone asked if we've done a giveaway yet, and the answer is no, we have not. We actually are getting to that now, while I'm asking you the very, very deep and important question of whether you would rather fight alpaca-sized mouse, or 5 tiny alpacas the size of mice. And we do have a giveaway winner to announce, and it is Kimberly Woolsey. Congratulations, Kimberly. You were drawn from everyone who signed up to this Facebook event ahead of time. If you are wondering, oh, I didn't know there was a Facebook event I can sign up to, you can actually type reminder in the chat and sign up to our reminder, which we send out every week, one day before the event, that has the link to the event in it. So you can type in the chat if you would like to receive a reminder, and then we can set that up for you. And then you'll always get a link to the event, and then you can just sign up there. And also, if you put next one in the chat. If you put next one in the chat, we'll send you a link to the next event, and then you can sign up for that one as well. So just so you know, and congratulations to Kimberly Woolsey. You are a winner of a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. And in order to get that gift card, please, Kimberly Woolsey, email us at live@hobbii.com and we'll send you your gift card. So Kimberly Woolsey, please email us live@hobbii.com and please let us know which country you're shopping from, because we need to make sure that the gift card that you get actually applies in that country. So congrats, Kimberly. Giveaway winner number 1. We have 3 more giveaways coming up. We'll pick 2 winners from the chat, 1 from the likes. I'll tell you what to do. Well, you can actually already give us a little like if you would like to. So, yeah, congrats, and let's keep going. I think the poll is very much going the way that you also would have anticipated. That people are either like me, saying I don't want to fight anyone, or they're very much like, well, the tiny alpacas, because yeah, the alpaca-sized mouse just sounds a bit terrifying.
But I do like how like half of the people chose to just fight the mouse-sized alpacas.
Yeah, maybe they're also just very excited about the idea of mouse-sized alpacas. I mean, it's also fight like you fight with your siblings, fight verbally, because I mean that's a fight you would win because they can't talk, so what are they gonna do? Spit. But they're teeny tiny, so... Is it alpacas that spit, or is it llamas? Or is it both?
I think it's both. Yeah, I think so.
Is it like a thumb or the heart? It's both, or either. You can give whichever reaction you would like. We also accept the tiny hug, or we even accept the haha. We just kind of randomly go through those.
But not the angry one.
Yeah, we do not accept the angry one. So
Nope.
if you send us an angry emoji, then you're out of the giveaway. What a great name for a fiber lover. Woolsey, says D. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. That is Kimberly Woolsey, who won our gift card. Also has a brilliant name for a Hobbii shopper. So Ellie is saying, it's weird, it's only showing what I voted for, not the final results of the poll. I don't actually know what the poll looks like from your end, because we can only obviously see the final results. We can't see what every person individually has voted.
The poll should show at least the number, or the number of people who voted for each one.
Either way,
It should, yeah.
I'd say let's move on to our next few yarns, because we still have quite a few to get through. There's 12 in total, and I've spent way too much time talking about the first ones and discussing the absolutely important topic of tiny mouse-sized alpacas. That just sounds so cute. You know, if they genetically engineered that, you know that there would be like Hollywood stars who would just own those as like pets.
Yeah, and
like I mean normal people as well, but you know that there would be someone like the first person would be someone like super viral, like being like, yeah, these are my tiny alpacas. Anyways, let's check out our next few yarns. Like I said in the intro or in the beginning, we have a few that were out of stock for a long time and are back in stock. And this first one is actually part of that. So we have Twisted Love for you today. When I was setting everything up today, I kept thinking of Wasted Love, which was the Eurovision winner this year. And I was like, Twisted Love. I can't do opera. We also have Fantasy, which made me think of Bohemian Rhapsody immediately. And we have Crafting Acrylic, which luckily doesn't have anything other than, it does what it says on the label. It's an acrylic that's great for crafting. So these are the next 3 beautiful yarns we have in the selection for you. I'm going to start with Crafting Acrylic. I'm going to start with the biggest one. Crafting Acrylic is a 100% acrylic yarn. Who would have thunk? Not me, that's for sure. I am as shocked as you are. This is the very cute label that our beautiful design team, Aileen and Daniel, made. On one of these bad boys, you get 379 yards of thread. It is a nice and chunky, so this is another size 4 yarn. We do recommend that you use a 5 to 6 millimeter hook or needle for this. And it is machine washable at low to medium temperature, so it is very easy to take care of. This is kind of your general baseline acrylic yarn. It is nice and soft. It has a very nice surface. It's a little bit squishy. It's just the right amount of everything. It comes in a few very lovely colors that Matt's going to pull up in a second. I've got like nice cream color here. I should probably get back to saying the number. So this is color number 3 that I'm holding here. Then we've got this kind of minty dark mint light teal color. This is kind of, to me, giving very retro 90s vibes. And this is color 32. We've got this nice blush or rose color. This one is color number 17. And we've got this mustard yellow, I would say, which is color 7. Matt's going to pull up all the colors that we have available, and you can see a nice palette that covers kind of a little bit of everything. This yarn is great for anything you want to do that is slightly chunkier. It is, like I said, 5 to 6 millimeter hook or needle recommendation, so it is a little bit thicker. It's great if you want to make maybe a nice cardigan, if you want to make a nice blanket, if you want to make any kind of cute accessory. I could see this also being really nice for a little bag. So there are a few really lovely ones. Maria is saying, I was feeding my cats. Which yarn is this? This is crafting acrylic. So this is our beautiful crafting acrylic. We can actually take a look what's been done already, and I can see that in the user gallery there is 2 very cute little projects. The first one is by Jackie, who made this very lovely little daisy square. I could imagine that this might just be a prototype for maybe a larger project, and she's been using it as a substitute for Malaga, which is a yarn that we used to carry that's been discontinued about 2 years ago. So for those of you who were sad about that, according to Jackie, this is a really good replacement. And then we also have these super cute grannies that I think are going to make a very lovely little blanket. Pauline is asking, how does crafting acrylic compare to Horizon? So it is a little bit more voluminous, so it does have a slightly thicker texture, and it is less shiny and less soft and, what's the word I'm thinking of? When something is like smooth. A mirror. Smooth, thank you. It's a little less smooth than Horizon. So Horizon has that almost shiny, very smooth surface, similar to also Kind Feather has kind of a similar surface. Sunbird also has a similar surface, so a little bit more like that. This is not quite as smooth. It is very nice and soft nonetheless, so I would say in terms of softness, it is like a little bit below that. I would say this compares quite well to Malaga. I'd say this also compares maybe to our Mega Ball yarns as well. And Ruth is asking, is it similar to Amigo? It's not dissimilar. It is a little bit of a different yarn weight. It's also a little bit of different kind of texture and structure. Amigo is a high bulk acrylic. This is a regular acrylic, but they're not super dissimilar. I wouldn't necessarily try and combine them just because I think the yarn weights don't align perfectly. So yeah, this is our crafting acrylic. Victoria is asking how many skeins I would recommend for a queen size blanket. That's actually a really tough one. I don't know off the top of my head. With questions like that, I would either just try to find a yarn conversion tool online. We don't have one of those, I think, yet as part of our website, but I know there's some other websites that do, where you can kind of type in all the yarn requirements. You can also send an email to our customer service department. It's support@hobbii.com. Just be warned, we have a bit of a backlog right now because there have been so many changes to the website, and so of course people get in touch with various questions. That, coupled with a few holidays at the beginning of June, coupled with vacation time, has led to us having a bit of a backlog. So if you've already reached out to customer service with a question and you're still waiting for an answer, we are not ignoring you on purpose. It's just a lot of emails that have come in, and of course the more people write, especially if people get impatient and send multiple emails, it just piles up. So just be aware. With any estimate, it's always great if you include a type of pattern that you're looking to work. It's really important to know if you're crocheting or knitting, especially with something like a blanket, with something very large, because crocheting uses up so much more yarn, depending on your stitches as well, but especially if you just do sort of single crochets, that eats up so much more yarn than knitting would on the same size. So on a queen size blanket, that could almost double the amount of yarn that you're using. So just be aware of that, and if you want any estimates, yeah, our support is there for you. Just be as specific as you can to make it easier for them to figure out how to help you. Ellie is saying that her email to support@hobbii.com could not go through. That is interesting. That should work. If not, we also have a chatbot on the website that you can also use to reach out to customer service. So if you just go on our website and use the chatbot, you can also reach customer service that way. Alrighty. So this is crafting acrylic. It is 40% off with our code HAPPY40, which was yarn number 1 in this little trio. And the next one we have is another 100% acrylic yarn, this time with color changes. So crafting acrylic, great. If you're looking for something solid colored, this next yarn is Fantasy, which is a bulky yarn. And Fantasy is great for all of you who love very gentle changes in colors and love these gentle stripes. It's a very bright and colorful yarn, and it is a slightly bulkier thread. So you can see here, this is a kind of classic bulky weight yarn. We recommend anywhere between sort of a 6 to 7 millimeter hook or needle, and it really depends again how tightly or loosely you work and what the desired structure of your final project is. This yarn is very, very well suited for any beautiful clothing articles. This is great for accessories. This could also be really nice for a blanket. And the color change happens very much automatically. You can see here these colors slowly twisting into each other, which means you get these very, very soft transitions between them, and you get a lot of overlap. Here we have color 10. The red I was showing you was color 7, just to keep myself accountable here. And you can see loads of little colors popping through, sometimes even just as a little accent to the overall yarn color. You get 164 yards of beautiful acrylic on this. It is machine washable at low to medium temperature, so it's easy to take care of and is a fun yarn to work with if you're into loads of color. You can see Chris in the chat saying, I love the Fantasy yarn. It is very, very nice. Here you can see all the colors that we have available. My personal favorite is color number 6, which is called Japanese Maples. I think it looks really, really cool. It's a very, very nice kind of berry and purple and red tones, and just, yeah, I find it very cozy. Fantasy is a yarn that is great if you are maybe a bit sensitive, because it is very nice and soft. There's no animal fiber, so you don't have to worry about allergies. It's easy to take care of. And it's nice and chunky, so you get going pretty quickly and you can kind of work from it pretty fast. Ivana's saying, normally red isn't my color, but this one is nice. I thought so too. We do have a third yarn in this little group. The final one is Twisted Love. Twisted Love was out of stock with all colors except for one for a really, really long time, so we could never have it on live shopping. And so I was really excited when I saw that I think all colors are back in stock. Matt's showing you the colors there. Twisted Love is a really, really gorgeous yarn. It is made from 87% cotton and 13% polyester. It's a lace weight, which means it's very, very thin. So am I likely to really work with this? No, but do I think it looks really beautiful? Yes. Here, I'll show you. So as you can see, you get a lace weight thread, so a very, very thin thread. We do recommend that you use anywhere between a 2 to a 2.5 millimeter hook or needle. If you want to make any tiny amigurumis with this, you could even go lower than a 2 millimeter for this, as you can see. What makes this yarn really special is, one, it has really pretty color changes. The colors, I think, are put together very, very nicely. But secondly, it has these little parts where it's almost wrapped around and you get these little metallic parts of thread. They're very, very shiny. They're really nice to touch, feeling very nice and smooth to the touch. And then in the other parts, you can see the metallic thread is just kind of gently wrapped around. It's not glittery, so it's not the same as you would get on a Twister glitter or a Salt and Deluxe Shine or a Universe. So it's not a glitter thread. It's very much a very, very soft polyester thread that is worked into the yarn, and it's more of a sheen or kind of a shiny effect that you get from it. So I think this is a really, really cool, really special color effect. It's something I haven't really seen a whole lot of previously, and so when we launched this, I was very excited about this yarn. This almost looks a bit like kind of like a necklace or like a chain of some kind.
Stacy's asking if it's a good yarn for beginners, for example.
Ooh, that is a very good question. I would say no for Twisted Love. I'll be very honest. As it is such a fine yarn weight, so lace weight is kind of as thin as you go usually, I would say that learning to work with this is probably going to be a little bit frustrating because it takes a lot of dexterity, it takes a lot of finagling and a lot of small moving parts. If you want to get started, or you want to help someone get started with crocheting or knitting, and you are a fan of smaller or thinner yarn weights, I would at least go fingering weight or sport weight. So I would say look for something that uses at least a 2.5 to 3 or 3.5 millimeter hook or needle. Personally, from my experience, I can say that was too thin for me. I gave up the first times I tried crafting. So I would say for me personally, I would go probably even a DK weight or higher. But yeah, so Twisted Love. One thing that is nice is because it is very well twisted. So as you can see here, it's a very, very evenly twisted thread. It does give you really good stitch definition. So it's definitely something, if you've already gotten into crafting and you're already so in it that you're not really going to be deterred anymore, then I think this is a really cool yarn to kind of hone your skills a little bit more when it comes to more finer details, smaller, more elaborate lace work, for instance, as well. Or picot or something like that. So anything that like really requires that like attention to detail and like really kind of fine motor skills, I think then it's a great yarn to get into. I wouldn't give it to someone for their very first project, honestly. Maybe that's just me. Elizabeth is saying, I was planning on getting some of it for a tiny doll dress. That sounds like a fabulous project and is, I think, a perfect project for this. Someone is saying, when will it be fixed on the website that the yarns link to patterns again? Soon, hopefully. It is something that's been raised with our tech department, so this is definitely something that everyone has been made aware of as a need. I do not know how long it takes for certain features to come back. We are still in the process of migrating everything, so there are still some hiccups. You'll also see that our landing page, we have one finally. It is not perfect yet. It's not finished yet. Matt's showing it to you right now. We are very happy that we at least have the page now that we can send you, but yeah, we're working on getting everything even better for you, getting everything even smoother and yeah, a better experience.
And the same goes for the wish list of it as well, I suppose.
Yes, it goes for things like the wish list. It goes for things, I think order history was affected for a while. I think that's actually already back. And a lot of the things are sometimes available on the website, but not on the app yet. That's also part of the transition process. So we're working on getting everything back as much as we can, basically. Cynthia saying, I don't think Louisa is seeing my questions. I can now see your comment. So just type the question again real quick and I'll keep an eye. Matt's gonna, oh, Matt's actually looking at could you make a doily out of this or Barbie doll clothes? Yes, to both. You could make both out of this. I hope that was your question that you wanted answered. It's definitely something used for any kind of sort of lace work or fine detailed work like this. You could make friendship bracelets out of this as well, or any kind of like tiny jewelry. We do have some patterns that I wanted to show you. These are actually for larger projects, and again, I just think they look super fabulous, and I think they'd be perfect for summer. So we have this beautiful crochet set. It's the Rose Garden. Bless you, Matt.
Thank you.
It is the Rose Garden set, which is an intermediate level crochet pattern. So we have the Rose Garden skirt and the Rose Garden top. Both of these are patterns made for lace weight yarn. On the photo, you'll see it done in rainbow lace. However, just imagine that, but with the slight shine and the color change of this gorgeous yarn. So this is the Rose Garden skirt, which you can make, and then the Rose Garden top pattern as well. And I know that it's a little bit see-through on the bottom, but I think having either sort of a skin-colored underdress or even just lining it is a great option there. So both of these patterns are linked on our landing page. So if you type happy40 in the chat, you should, ideally, I know that Facebook is not doing it for everyone, but you should get a link sent to you that will have the landing page linked. Matt has also linked it in the chat and in the video description, so you can find it there. and you can check out the patterns there one more time if you want to see it. This is Twisted Love, which this beautiful set could be made from. And then I showed you my favorite color of Fantasy earlier, and I do also have a pattern that goes with, which is another crochet pattern. This one is a beginner-friendly one. This is the Basic Stitch sweater pattern, which you can make in sizes from extra small to 5XL, and the name truly describes what it is. It is a great beginner-friendly project. It is perfect for those of you who want to get into crocheting a sweater, because it uses a few different kind of basic techniques, really helps you kind of learn anything from kind of almost like granny stitch to how to do ribbing, and it's very size inclusive, so you can get it in many, many different sizes, and it is made from Fantasy, which is nice and chunky, so you also kind of get there pretty quick. The Rose Garden skirt and top that we showed you is available in sizes XXS to XXL. So again, there you have a lot of different sizes to choose from. And Debbie's asking if the patterns are free or paid. All the patterns I'm showing you today are free patterns, so they're all available for free on our website, so you can check them out there. Low commitment, you can just download them. If you never do them, that's still fine. You'll still have the pattern at home. On the live page, you can see it. Heidi's asking, how does it compare to Cotton 8/4? This is significantly thinner than Cotton 8/4. Cotton 8/4 is a fingering or sock weight. This is a lace weight, so I'll just hold them up next to each other. Well, significantly thinner, but it is thinner, and it also is more compact. So as you can see here, the Cotton 8/4 is a little bit looser in its structure. So this is really, really kind of densely spun. This is a really dense material, which is great for any kind of really intricate works you do with it, because it's, despite being so thin, will still mean that it holds its structure really well. The Cotton 8/4 in comparison is thicker, probably like half a needle size up, honestly, and is a little bit kind of spongier in its texture, I would say, a little bit looser, a little bit softer. So this is going to drape a little bit more, whereas this is still going to drape, but it is a little bit more structured. So that was Twisted Love, that was Crafting Acrylic, and that was Fantasy. These three yarns are 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40, which is valid until tomorrow, 5 p.m. So, yeah, valid until tomorrow, 5 p.m. CET, tomorrow around the time that this stream started for you, because I can't convert to every single time zone in my head. Dagmar is saying it seems to have some shine. Yes, it does. It has this metallic shine to it. Here you can see it's worked in with the cotton, and then you have some parts of the thread where it's just the polyester thread on top, and it has this really gorgeous kind of, yeah, metallic sheen to it. Cynthia's saying I love all of them. It looks more like a mercerized cotton. I think it's a normal cotton. I think it's just that the polyester kind of shiny thread adds to that perception. With that, we are now going to have another giveaway. This time the winner will be chosen at random from everyone who comments the following phrase. It is simple, it is just #giveaway. And you can comment on Facebook and on YouTube to participate. Unfortunately, if you're watching on Instagram, we cannot offer the giveaways there. Very sorry for that. Currently, that is the way the setup works. But if you are on Facebook or on YouTube, please type #giveaway in the chat now for a chance to win a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. Selena is saying that Happy40 isn't working. It should. Can you test it on the EU side real quick? It worked earlier when I tested it. You can, yeah, you can do any. I'll be making a baby blanket. It calls for light worsted weight. Do you have any light worsted weight yarn on sale? Yeah, it should apply. So Selena, try it again. Be aware, Happy40 only applies to our selection. So it doesn't apply to anything that's not part of our selection. Only the yarns that we're showing today. And also you can join the live shopping tomorrow in German if you want. I can see loads of hashtag giveaway in the chat. Very good, very good. So we're going to find our winner in 15 seconds. And I can see Sana saying that it's not working in Sweden. I forgot to say this. Thank you for reminding me. Sweden. So if you're watching us from Sweden, I have a slight sad announcement. Happy 40 is not working for you. That is because Sweden is in the middle of the changeover on the website, which means we couldn't set up the code for you. We have been able to set up Happy 10, which gives you 10% off our selection, and Happy 10 applies on top of sales price or bulk price. So if you're shopping from Sweden, we can't offer you Happy 40 today. As a little, how do you say, consolation, we can offer you 10% off with Happy 10 on our selection. So if you're shopping from Sweden, yeah, sadly we don't have a landing page for you, and we don't have Happy 40. I forgot about that. It will be fixed next week, because then it will be fully migrated and fully worked. Ruth is saying, when people say Happy 40 isn't working, do they mean sending the link or actually the discount code? I don't know. I just kind of assume a combination of all of them. If you type Happy 40 in the chat and you don't get a message, do not worry. The page is linked. The page is linked on the video description. The page is linked in the chat as a pinned comment. The link will also be sent as a follow-up message to this. So if you just want the link, you can kind of get it there. And then, yes, I will get to that in a sec. I want to finish my thought. You can also put the winner back up.
No, I can't.
Oh.
Okay.
If you are applying Happy 40 at checkout and it won't work, then that is probably because you have yarns that are not from our selection in the cart. So those are the two things that I needed to say. And with that, congratulations to our second winner of the night. You will receive a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. And that is Katie Finson. Katie Finson, congratulations. You have won yourself a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. You can get your gift card by sending us an email to live@hobbii.com. live@hobbii.com. So Katie Finson, please send us an email and congratulations on your prize. And with that, we are now going to have a little commercial break. Many of you will have seen the information. Many of you will have seen it. I saw some people saying they've already ordered it. After many months of testing, of planning, of designing, of creating, we this morning launched our first ever merchandise line. That's right, you can now buy wearable merch. You can now buy t-shirts and sweaters. Woo, woo, woo. Isn't that amazing? So, we have a total of 4 designs, I think. I'm trying to remember. I should know because I modeled for it. I did a beautiful half-day photo shoot where I got to wear all of this. So we have a beautiful line of t-shirts and sweaters. We have 2 sweaters, we have 3 t-shirt designs, and all of them are now out. We have 3 sweaters and 4 t-shirt designs, which are all out now. They come in sizes between extra small. Can you pull it back up? Thank you. They come in sizes between small and 5XL. For those wondering, on the photos, I am actually wearing the size small to medium. So they are kind of oversized fit and kind of unisex. This one is my personal favorite, is a super cute gray hoodie that has this cute little heart detail. And which size did I take? This one is the size small medium. I'm gonna put it on real quick to give you a better idea of how it looks. I actually have already ordered one of these for myself because I thought it was so cozy when I wore it for the photo shoot. So here you can see the very, very cute gray Hobbii hoodie in size small/medium, which is, I'm 5'9" for reference, so relatively tall, and it hits just right for me, and the sleeve length is perfect. So this is the gray heart love hoodie. We also have the If I'm Sitting, I'm Knitting t-shirt and We don't have the sweater for this. We only have the t-shirt. I think. We also have the I dropped a stitch and I don't know where. Can I pick you up instead? For if you want to not just be crafty, but also be flirty. We also have the crochet is my therapy, or as I have been very annoyingly pronouncing it, crochet is my therapy, because I thought it would sound funny. This one is a size 4XL to 5XL, just to give you an idea of kind of how big the sizes run. To move quite far back from the microphone, I hope you can still hear me, but this is the size 4XL, 5XL. This is the size large to XL, is the t-shirt with the cute little yarnies. Look at all of them. It's like, tag yourself. Which yarny are you? Matt, which one are you?
What was I
Matt's pulling it up because it's I think easier to see on the screen.
Which yarny am I? You know what? I'll be the yellow one. You know.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm chilling.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, it's the tall one with the sunglasses. Matt is going to be like, yep, that's me.
But so who are you?
Probably the little blue one, honestly.
Oh,
just slightly confused.
Yeah,
Slightly out of it.
Shocked.
Just like, It's me when I take off my glasses. Man, I've been wearing them all day. I'm like... Erica's saying, uh-oh, I may have ordered a size that is too large. I ordered based on the size chart, but the SM hoodie looks like it would be the correct size on me. I was also quite surprised because... so they asked me, of course, ahead of time, which size are you? And I said, well, if it's a unisex one, I'm usually a size medium. And then because it's small/medium, that's the one they gave me for the photo shoot, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's been a while since I fit into anything size small, so yeah, this is the new Hobbii merch. We sadly do not have a discount on it, so you can order it. There's no Happy 40 to go with it, but if you do want to check it out and you haven't seen it yet, if this is the first time you've ever heard of the merch, then you can type merch1 in the chat and you'll get a link sent to you that links to all of these beautiful new wearables. There are also some tote bags that have little yarn characters on them, so there is a really nice little selection there for you. This has been something that's been in demand for a really, really long time, and we're really excited about it. It is our first attempt at a merch line, so any feedback is also very, very appreciated. I already put a little poll. Well, Matt put the poll in. Thank you, Matt. A little poll so you can let us know which of these are your favorites. In general, also, what's your favorite type of merch? Are you, like me, a cozy hoodie kind of gal? Are you more into the t-shirts, especially now with summer? Maybe bit more useful than a hoodie right now, or are you into something completely different that we haven't even put there yet, or do you just love all of it and do you wish you could just order one in each size? Not each size, your size, but each type.
And in case you are on YouTube or you can't get the links, you can always just find the link to them actually on the website.
Side. It's linked very
right
prominently
there
on the website.
Boom.
As you can see, there's a big orange banner telling you it is limited edition. We made this amount of merchandise because it's our first time doing this, right? So it's the first time Hobbii has a merch line, which kind of meant it wasn't quite clear how much demand is there really, etc. So once a size sells out, that is gone for now at least. If it sells out within the day, then they might reprint some, I don't know. But just for you to know, it is limited edition, so if you want to grab one, make sure you do it ASAP. I can see some people saying that the codes don't work because they have items that are not part of our selection. In that case, the code will not apply. So just letting you know, because it cannot be combined with other discounts, and sadly it counts our bulk discount as a discount.
And also Nicole is trying to buy Dahlia.
Yeah, but she was also trying to buy Twisted Love.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But you can't combine different discounts with each other. That is something that is hopefully going to be fixed at some point. We're trying to figure it out. But yeah.
Where are we going now?
So wait, just quickly, let me finish my thought.
Okay.
So if you want a link to the merch, just put merch1 in the chat. If you want to check it out, it's on the website. It is limited edition. It is very, very cozy. I had a lot of fun at the photo shoot. There are some pictures that didn't make it onto the website. There is an entire, I'd say 5 or 6 photos of Jaya carrying me piggyback. And I don't think any of them made it onto the website, sadly. We might just use them at some point for some other promo, because those were actually kind of my favorites. And I don't know if any of them made it in. Matt's now scouring the website to see. But yeah, there you can see Jaya and me having a grand old time, inviting you to the yarn party. There you can see Jaya and me looking very, very happy to be hanging out together, because crochet is our therapy. We've also got If I'm Sitting, I'm Knitting. And if you look at the If I'm Sitting, I'm Knitting t-shirt, my favorite part is that I am crocheting in that picture. I am not knitting. I am very much crocheting. Jaya is knitting. I actually had to frog everything I crocheted during that photo shoot, because of course I kept just crocheting, and then the photographer would just say, Louisa, can you please look in the camera? Can you please look up? Also make sure you hold it in a way that I can still read what's written on your t-shirt, because I was crocheting kind of up here, and then it was like, okay, yep, I'm looking at the camera, and still trying to actually do stitches. There's also, yeah, our lovely colleagues. We were having a really great time at our photo shoot. So yeah, anyway, it was the first time I've ever done something like this. Our merch is out now. Check it out. It's merch1 in the chat if you want a direct link. We sadly don't have a discount code for you, but do make sure you order ASAP in case your size sells out. Someone is saying zip up hoodie. Yeah, that is one that I'll forward that feedback, because I'm normally also a zip up hoodie kind of gal. I'm also a crew neck kind of gal. I love a hoodie, but I really, really like a crew neck. I mean, you're kind of wearing, well, you're wearing a shirt. It's not really a sweater.
No, it's a long sleeve tee.
Yeah.
I guess.
Right. So this was our little commercial break, and with that, we are now actually moving on to our next segment, which I just titled "Let's Be Friends," because the next yarns are all friends yarns. I've already talked a little bit about Friends cotton and how it combines / differentiates itself from our other cotton yarns. And we do have Friends cotton in the selection today in 2 sizes. We've got the 8/4 and the 8/8, and we've got our Friends cotton silk as well. Friends cotton 8/4 is, as I said, kind of your baseline cotton yarn that is used for a lot of different types of projects. Anything from amigurumi to clothing to home and household accessories. So any, like a dish rag, a trivet, a little napkin, a little decoration, a bag, a t-shirt, a hat, or of course, cute little plushies. Anything you want, you can make an 8/4 cotton. It is a fingering or sock weight, so really nice, light, thin yarn. The recommended hook or needle size is around a...
We're on 8/4? Oh, yeah,
we're on 8/4, yeah. Is around a 2.5 to... Whoop, there we are. 2.5 to 3 millimeters. And as you can see here, they're perfect. We're at the end. It is 4 little plies of cotton. So that is actually what the numbers stand for. So 8/4 just means it's 4 plies of a size 8 cotton thread. 8/8 means it's 8 plies, which of course makes sense. Cotton 8/8, twice the thickness, twice the fun. So this is the 8/8 cotton, this is the 8/4 cotton, and you can see how they compare in size. Between the two of them, you want to size up by roughly a needle or hook size. So the 8/4 cotton, recommended hook or needle size, 3.5 to 4 millimeters or 4.5 millimeters. Because I tend to crochet very tightly, do go up to a 4.5 for the 8/8 cotton for sure, just to make sure that my stitches don't get super, super tight. Again, depends on what you're making with it. You can also use the 8/8 for amigurumis. You can use it for anything from pot holders to clothing to accessories. A nice little bag, maybe a little kind of shopping net. Very, very easily done with the 8/8 cotton. If you're using an amigurumi pattern that is written for the 8/4, easy hack, you can, 100%. It'll turn out kind of the same. It'll just be twice the size, and you'll need twice the yarn. And that's quite simply because, well, not quite twice the yarn, but you'll need more yarn because the 8/8 runs for 82 yards, 75 meters, and the 8.4 is almost twice as long, running for 150 yards, I believe. Yeah, running for 170 yards. That's the one. So you yeah, get almost twice the length on the 8.4, you get twice the thickness on the 8.8. It's a really easy conversion. Both of these are part of our Friends line. The Friends line, same as the Friends cotton silk that we're coming to in a sec, are all yarns that are made based on the same color chart. So whichever yarn you pick up, whether it be a wool, whether it be a mohair, whether it be a acrylic, if it's in the Friends family, if you pick up color 95, which is what I'm holding right here, it's always going to be this teal color on any of them. So that's a really, really good way to kind of match all your projects. If you're someone who's looking for a head-to-toe option, if you want to make socks from a sock yarn, and then you want to make maybe pants from a cotton yarn, and then you make a nice flowing tunic on top that's made out of an acrylic blend, and then you make a hat and a scarf out of a wool, and you want them all to be one color, look no further than the Friends line, because that makes it possible. There will be slight variation. That's just because cotton takes color slightly different than wool does, than silk does, than acrylic does. But still, as a kind of easy hack of matching up colors, look at the Hobbii Friends line, and they are all friends. Do we have a poll result about the merch, by the way, Matt?
Yes.
Because I'd be really curious to hear what people thought about it, or what people think in terms of okay, so it's a little toss-up between I love them all, cozy hoodies, and I wish there was more. That sounds about right. I do think they are a very, very cute little line. There's something for knitters, there's something for crocheters, there's something for everyone. The hoodies are also super, super soft on the inside. They're made from a, I think it's 60 cotton, 40 polyester blend. They also have like really nice kind of, yeah, feel to them. They are quite warm. So with the current temperatures, who knows when I'll actually start wearing my hoodie. But yeah, so thank you for sharing your opinions. And to those of you who already ordered, thank you for ordering. And I hope you will enjoy. And I look forward to seeing all the photos of everyone wearing their Hobbii merch. I'll probably end up wearing my hoodie at some point during the stream. So Suze in the chat is saying the cotton 8.4 is fab. It's great for amigurumi. It definitely is. I have actually linked a few patterns for it, for the 8.4 and the 8.8 cotton. I'll get to those in a sec. Before that, I'll quickly show you our third friend that we have for you today, and that is the Friends Cotton Silk. This is a 77% cotton, 23% silk blend, and it is a great example to show you that while the Friends line is made to have that kind of every color 63 is the same shade, if you look very closely, you'll see that you actually have a bit of a two-toned quality here. And that's because the silk, which is wrapped around this very, very kind of bouncy, voluminous cotton in the middle, takes the dye slightly differently than the cotton does, and therefore looks a little bit darker. It's not on every color. So this was color 63. Here in comparison, color 41. And you'll see it is a lot more tone in tone. And then here we've got the sapphire, the color 85. And again, you see the silk just barely sticking out. So it really depends. It's stronger on some colors, lighter on others, but you will get a little bit of that two-tone variety of the colors kind of looking out differently. Okay, Karina is also saying that the code is not working on the twist.
It works for me.
Okay. Then it should work, depending on where you're...
That's from the US side too.
Jennifer is saying, did I miss a link to the merch? I mean, maybe you did. You can just type merch 1 in the chat and that should get you a link. Just merch 1, no space, just merch 1. And then we'll send you a link. But you can also find it on the website. It's linked at the very top of the page. Our Friends Cotton 8.4 has also restocked most of the colors. And so there's also a lovely, lovely variety there. This is another yarn that I really love working with. One thing I will say, it does fluff a little bit because compared to, for instance, the Friends cotton, right? You can see the cotton, it's very evenly spun. So you have the 4 threads that are kind of spun together. Whereas here, the cotton is a lot bouncier and a lot more loosely twisted, and that just means that there's a little bit more friction and a little bit more fluff. It goes away pretty quickly after you finished your project. I'd say give it sort of one wash and you're good to go. The label says you can machine wash this yarn. Due to the silk, I'm a bit fearful of that. I just hand wash my projects, but technically speaking, you should be able to machine wash this at low temperature. I'm just a little scared when it comes to some of my projects, so I'm like, careful. It is a lightweight yarn. It is a recommended hook or needle size of 4 to 5 millimeters. For me crocheting with this, the 5 millimeter works really well. And it is just a really, really lovely yarn to be working with. It has the right blend of kind of bounciness, softness, and I really like the kind of two-toned quality to it, so I really think that adds a little bit of interest. It's a really nice blend. You get 131 yards on one of these little donuts, and they come in the colors Matt already showed you, which you can easily combine with your other favorites from the Friends line. If you're looking for some ideas what to make with these yarns, I do have some patterns. This first one is actually written for the Friends cotton silk, and it is this super cool crochet dress. It's the Blossom Robe dress. I love this. I think it is a really, really cool project. It is way too advanced for me. I will completely be honest here, but I just think it looks so stunning. This pattern is available for sizes extra small to extra large, and I think just with summer finally being here, it is a great project to maybe give a try if you're an experienced crocheter. The beautiful cardigan I was wearing earlier, the opal cardigan, is also made in the Friends cotton silk. Like I said, the one I have here I think must be made in one of the larger sizes because it is very oversized on me, but it is very, very cozy. So this is the opal cardigan, opal like the gemstone, a super lovely intermediate level knit pattern. So here you actually have, I can actually show this so you can see the stitch definition really well. There you go. This is what the cotton silk looks like when worked up. For the cotton yarns, I also have two cute patterns to share with you. This one I just really wanted to put in because I thought it looked so cute, and also because it's something for kids and I don't have a whole lot of kids pattern this week. This is the bear shoulder bag. I mean, it's not just for kids. Honestly, I would wear this, but it is a knit bag with this cute little bear face and these cute little bear ears on it that you can make from our Friends cotton. So this is the bear shoulder bag pattern. You can adjust the strap in length, of course, depending on who you're making this for. And finally, this is a new pattern that came out, I want to say a few weeks ago. This is an intermediate level crochet pattern. This is the bubble top. So the bubble up top. So not bubble up because it has a lot of bubble stitches. The bubble up top, which is a Friends Cotton 8/4 t-shirt pattern. This one is intermediate level and ranges in size from extra small to 5XL. So this is the bubble up top, which I think is a really, really cool use of colors and a really cool use of stitches, and still has that airy summer texture. Suze is sharing a really, really good tip. I think that was in relation to me being afraid of washing my silk yarns in the machine. And it's pronounced Sus. I'm an exported Swede. Yeah, put it in a pillowcase and then wash it on wool setting so it doesn't spin. It's just being rocked. Thank you very much. I will give that a try. I'll probably try it on something like a scarf just to be sure that I don't accidentally ruin my projects. But thank you very, very much for that. And Nicole is saying, FYI, the Halloween yarn is now on the website. Yes, it is. It went up this morning along with the merchandise. So if you're already waiting for that, then yes, the Halloween yarns are now on the website. So these were our friends. So this was Friends Cotton Silk, Friends Cotton 8/4, and Friends Cotton 8/8. All of those are 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40, which you can apply until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So until the time that this stream started tomorrow, 24 hours from when we got going. So do treat yourself, do grab yourself some yarn. I have linked a few additional patterns on our landing page. So if you go to the landing page, you'll see there's a few more patterns that actually link to some of the other yarns, that to some of these yarns. I just don't have the time to show all of them. With that, we're going to move to our final 3 yarns, and with that I can announce another giveaway winner. Our next winner was drawn from everyone who gave this video a little like, so thank you so much to all of you who did, and congrats to our giveaway winner Amelia Stone, who will receive a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. So Amelia Stone, please email us at live@hobbii.com. Amelia, thank you so much for joining, and thank you for giving us a little like. Donna's asking if Happy 50 is available this week. It is not. Happy 50 is not active this week. It's just Happy 40. And I can see a lot of people are very excited about the Halloween yarns. I mean, we've been getting questions about when the Halloween yarns are going to come out for, I want to say, 2 or 3 months now. So I'm very glad that you are excited about it. But yes, the Halloween yarns are now out. They've just launched this morning. And loads of really cool stuff. Really love the cat-shaped stitch markers as well. Those are a big hit with me. We have 3 more yarns that are part of today's selection, so I'm going to try and run through those a little bit quicker because we're almost out of time. We do have Fruta for you, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous soft cotton yarn. We have Diablo, ooh la la, and we have Tessuto, which is our t-shirt yarn, and it is so heavy. I keep forgetting how heavy these are. I will tell you a little bit about these now. I'm going to start with the Tessuto because do not even... Matt is miming throwing it at me. And I just want to say, this Tessuto is heavy. This is a t-shirt yarn. It's made out of recycled t-shirt fibers. One of these bad boys weighs 750 grams. So, what is that? It says 26.5 ounces. It is pretty weighty. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's not... I can hold it. It's just, you don't expect yarn to be this heavy, frankly. It's a cotton blend, so it's made of 90% cotton, 5% polyester, which is sort of the normal kind of jersey material, and then 5% additional fibers, which is just due to it being actually made from cast-offs from the textile industry and recycled t-shirts. That just means that you are going to get whatever was in the t-shirts that's being recycled. It's a super bulky yarn with a recommended hook or needle size. Upwards of 10 millimeters. Again, here really depends which structure you're trying to achieve for your project. If you're making something like a bag, go with a smaller sized hook or needle. I would say no smaller than 10, because it is quite sturdy as well. So this is actually quite solid, meaning if you work this up with too small a hook, you're just going to have a hard time getting into your stitches, and you're going to get a very, very structured garment. If you are working this up with a bigger size, you are going to get a much looser kind of fit or structure. You get 142 yards on one of these, so it's quite weighty, and then you get 140 yards out of it. And you can machine wash this. We do recommend that you do it at like a low to medium temperature. It is yarn that is a little bit for those who want to kind of try something new and go on a little adventure. This yarn, due to its recycled nature, does not come in specific colors, and that's simply because whatever base material it's made of is kind of what determines the color it's going to be. So no 2 or 3 skeins are necessarily going to be the same. If you recycle 15 of the same t-shirts, you're going to get a few skeins that are really similar, but then the next t-shirt that you use is going to be different, and so the color is going to look different, the texture is going to feel different. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to make a project that is very uniform, very even. This is not the yarn for you. This is the yarn for you if you want to make something that is kind of adventurous and has that kind of recycled quality to it. You can order this yarn by ordering colorways. So essentially the producer has kind of grouped the yarns together based on color, and there is significant overlap between some of these groups. So this color, for instance, could be both in the sort of pinks or purples category, depending on if this is a little bit lighter, it might still be considered part of the pinks category. This yarn might go into the yellow shades, or it might go into the orange shades, or it might go into the, you know. So it's a little bit of a gamble what exactly you're going to get. You're going to get something that falls somewhere on the spectrum of a color. So this, yeah, could be kind of a yellow shade, could be considered a red shade. So that's just really good to know if you're working with this. You can order 5 skeins. They might all be the exact same because they just happen to be made from the same t-shirt. They might all look entirely different from each other. They might not have the same kind of matching color at all. So it's something you should look forward to and embrace for your project if you want to make something where you know exactly the color you're going to get, where you have a really clear understanding of exactly how it's going to work up. Then I would recommend looking more towards ribbon yarns because those are very uniform and a little bit different in structure and size, but similar enough. Elaine is saying, I love an adventurous rug. I mean, you know, if you infuse it with magic, it could also fly, and then look at that go. So there are some cute projects that you guys have made with this. For instance, here, a very lovely little wine bottle holder gift wrap from Monica. I think it looks really, really cool. And Lisa has made a set of yarn baskets.
Wait, the yarn is holding the yarn?
Yes, it is yarn that is embracing yarn. That's what I did. I made a yarn basket for my grandma, so yeah. her yarn is also being cradled by yarn.
It's like a damn cycle.
Mm-hmm. So this is Tessuto. So this is Tessuto, our new t-shirt yarn, which great for those of you who want to embrace something kind of out there and different. Not so great if you're a fan of kind of having kind of a bit more structure and uniformity to your projects, which I can totally understand, especially if you're working on a large project that you kind of want it to look a certain way at the end. If that is you, then maybe look more towards something like ribbon. If you want the kind of really all over the place quality, Tessuto is where you could find that. With that, we also have Fruta, which is the next yarn I'm going to talk to you about. And Fruta is a 100% cotton yarn made from beautiful, beautiful Italian Pima cotton. It is super, super, super soft, nice and bouncy, has a nice thickness to it. The recommended hook or needle size is a 4 to 5 millimeters. It is slightly thicker. Well, it's roughly the same, I think, actually, as an 8/8 cotton. So this is the 8/8 cotton. This is the Fruta in comparison. I think because it is, again, you can see, slightly thicker individual plies and spun a little bit looser, the Fruta just feels a bit bouncier and more voluminous. That's why in my head it's a little bit thicker than the 8/8 cotton, although when you look at them next to each other, they're pretty much the same. Fruta has gorgeous, gorgeous soft color changes and color kind of, what do you call it? Like a sprinkle of color. When like splotches, where maybe you can show the swatches on the website, because then that I think illustrates my point really well. There we go. This is what I mean when I say splotches. So you don't just get uniform stripes, you don't get any kind of even color changes, you get a really beautiful little dash and fun collection of colors. I really, really love Fruta. It is super, super soft. One thing I really like about it is, despite being a 100% cotton yarn, it drapes really nicely when worked up, so it doesn't get so stiff like other cotton yarns sometimes do. I think that is partially due to the Pima cotton and partially due to it being a little looser in its own structure, like I said, compared to the 8/8 cotton, for instance. We do recommend that you wash this on cold and by hand to preserve the colors as best as possible, and you get 230 yards on one of these cakes. All of these cakes look a little bit different from each other, so again, embrace the chaos when you work with this yarn and enjoy working with it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Finally, we have Diablo. Diablo is the final yarn of the night, and it is another lace weight, but it is quite different from Twisted Love. Twisted Love was the first lace weight yarn we had, and Diablo is this one, and I mean, you can immediately see it as well. Diablo is a lace weight thread, so you get a very, very thin thread again. However, it has the classic characteristic mohair fluff around it. It's a blend of 40% acrylic, 30% mohair, and 30% polyamide. And it gives you super, super soft fluffiness and loads of fun to work with. It is very, very lightweight. It is very airy, and again, that differentiates it from a cotton lace yarn. I mean, I know lace yarns, just because it's the same weight doesn't mean it's the same type of yarn, but I think it's interesting to kind of sometimes think of how materiality affects the final result of a project, despite the yarns technically being the same weight category. This is super lightweight, super floofy. You get 245 yards on one of these bad boys, and one of these really goes a long way. The needle or hook size you're using is gonna heavily depend on the project. You can use this single ply, you can use this 2 strands, 3 strands, 4 strands, 5 strands, as many strands as you want. You can build your own combinations. That's what our old Diablo multi used to be. You can now build your own with that, whereby just combining different colors together. Like for instance, you could just use these two together to build your own kind of melange color. You can use this in addition to another thread. It works really well, for instance, with cotton yarns such as Friends Cotton. It works well with acrylic yarns. It works well with wool yarns. It just gives you that extra bit of fluff and texture and softness. Mohair is one of the yarns that people with very sensitive skin might find irritating. So just be aware, if you are very, very sensitive to mohair yarns or to very fluffy yarns in general, use this with caution, or use it on projects that don't constantly rub on your skin directly. So the oh no, Penny is saying that the gray hoodie in size L extra large is already out of stock. I am very sorry. It might be that we still, like, it might be that our warehouse is immediately refilling it. So it might not be gone just yet, because I know the website updates every few hours. Basically, the website thinks, oh, there's 100 in stock. Once those have been ordered, it says they're sold out, but then the warehouse might actually have 200. It's just that the website then refreshes and there is more. I don't know if that's the case, but just don't be afraid. Maybe check again later to see if it's already been refilled, because sadly our website doesn't really differentiate between it's not currently available right this second or we have none in the warehouse. Once the size is no longer at all shown on the website, so once you cannot even see it or select it in any way, shape or form, then it is definitely sold out. So fingers crossed that there might be some more. Nicole is saying my skin denies mohair. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I personally really, really love it, but I'm also not very sensitive. In that case, alpaca could be a good alternative for you to try. There are also a few acrylic alternatives as well. So don't despair. There may yet be the right yarn for you to get that little bit of extra fluffiness into your life. Diablo comes in a range of beautiful colors. Matt just showed you a lot of them, and it is also a beautiful yarn to use either by itself, in combination, and for any kind of project where you want that really cool kind of softness and very light and airy effect. Like this pattern that I've shown a few times. This is the baby doll dress, which is an intermediate level crochet pattern. It is written for our Friends Cotton Silk for the bodice, and then for our Friends Kit Silk for the sleeves and the skirt. However, you can replace the Friends Cotton Silk, the Friends Kit Silk with Diablo. They have the same kind of structure, the same yarn weight, the same yardage, I believe, as well. So if you're looking for something to make and you want to give Diablo a try, this pattern is one that you could make with it. You just have to pick a yarn for the bodice, different yarn. That's the baby doll dress pattern, and we also have this beautiful pattern, which is the cobweb shrug, which is an experienced level crochet pattern, and I just think it looks so cool because it is so dramatic. The cobweb shrug, which you can make in sizes extra small to 2XL from Diablo, for not just fluffiness, which I love, because I hope if anyone's arachnophobic, just turn off the sound for a second. But I think it's really cool because spiders' webs are so lightweight, so that really works with the Diablo, but then also spiders, especially big ones, are a bit fuzzy, so that works with the Diablo as well. So I think this is just a really, really cool concept to apply to a mohair yarn in general. This is the cobweb shrug crochet pattern, and I do hope that anyone watching who has a problem or who does not like hearing or seeing spiders, hearing about spiders or etc.
You need to make this in white.
Oh yeah, so then it's proper cobweb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the black is nice for the contrast and like the drama of it. You could also make this in bright colors. So that was the cobweb shrug as an idea on what you can make with Diablo, and that was also our final yarn of the night. So we've had Diablo, we've had Fruta, we've had Tessuto, we have also our Friends Cottons in 8.4 and 8.8, we have our Friends Cotton Silk, we have our Crafting Acrylic, we've got Fantasy, we've got Twisted Love, and we have our Upcycled Alpaca collection with Upcycled Alpaca Blend, Alpaca Kit, Upcycled Alpaca Silk, and our Upcycled Suri Alpaca. These 12 yarns are 40% off with our code HAPPY40 until tomorrow, 5 p.m. CET, till tomorrow around the time that this stream started. If you've put HAPPY40 in the chat, you should have received a link to our landing page. As I said, if you're shopping from Sweden, sadly the landing page does not work for you, nor does HAPPY40. You can use code HAPPY10, which applies on top of sales price and bulk discount. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience. It should be fixed by next week because our website migration is progressing very rapidly. We do have one final giveaway where we will once again pick someone from the chat. So Matt is going to put the secret code word up again, and you on Facebook and YouTube will now have the chance to participate by typing #giveaway in the chat. Spell it the way it is spelled right here above me for a chance to win a gift card of $25 or equivalent in your currency. Ooh, someone has put the cobweb shrug in the chat with a different yarn, but it's a color changing one, Benita. It looks very cool. It looks really, really nice. Matt's gonna pull that up while you type. This looks really cool as well. It's thicker, so it doesn't have that lightweight, airy quality to it, but I think the color changes look really nice, and it still looks really, really cool. There's also one in blue, and Rihanna made the sleeves a little bit longer, which is probably something that I would do as well, because I like my sleeves long. Sophie's asking if you can shop from the US site, but from Sweden. No, you cannot. It's because it is currency dependent as well as location dependent, and so no. Not until, well, no. But the Swedish website should be fixed, very, very well fixed, but set up very, very soon so that we can then just offer everything for everyone again and not have to have this awkward thing where one week it was the European countries that couldn't order, and then one week it was Norwegians, and then one week it was Americans, and we're through the thick of it very, very soon where everyone can yeah, be part of live shopping again, get all the codes, get all the web pages very, very soon. Alrighty. We have found, or we will find in a second, our final winner of the night of a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. And it is a YouTube account that has won. And it is Sociology with Dr. Janice. Maybe that's Janice, who is also on the Facebook chat. Congratulations, Dr. Janice. I'm going to definitely check out that channel because I love a lecture. I took an intro to sociology class. It was about family structures. It was very interesting. But congratulations to Dr. Janice, and thank you so much for joining us. You will receive your gift card worth $25 if you email us at live@hobbii.com. And because dear Matthias is going on holiday soon, it might actually be me who has to, well, not has to, but who will go through the emails and send out the codes this week. So I do hope that, that all that works out. With that, I'm going to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Do remember that Happy 40 is valid until next week. Jillian is asking how my Suki slipover is coming along. Very well. So I'm at the point where I'm now going to need Jaya's help, and we are trying to coordinate to make sure we can have a craft and chat very, very soon to wrap up the project. It's genuinely been my fault because someone keeps going on vacations or going to Germany and working remotely where we can't film together. But we're planning it, well, we're gonna see. I would expect it in the next few weeks. I basically just need to connect, and then I need to do the ribbing. And that's the part where, like, I have to pick up the stitches, and I don't know how to do that yet. And we kind of thought that would be a good thing to do on camera in case someone who's a beginner is watching with us as well.
Quiz time!
Yes, quiz time. Woo! Oh yeah, I forgot about that. This Thursday, Matt is on holiday. Does that mean we've cancelled quiz time? No, it just means that I'm doing it. So this Thursday, 5 p.m. CT, so the same time as we ran this stream today, you will get the chance to hang out with me and win some cool prizes in a cool trivia game. So join us for that. It's on our Facebook channel. You can also type quiz1 in the chat if you want a link, and then you can join us for quiz time. Well, join me for quiz time this Thursday. Until then, or join me next week for live shopping, where I think I'll be riding solo. So that's also going to be fun. Until then, take care. Have a great time. I hope you all stay reasonably tempered, so not too hot, not too cold. I hope you all are doing well, and thank you so much for joining. See you very soon.
And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Woo woo!
Or actually a little bit more, but we'll see you there. Bye-bye.